Platform has three pieces of news to talk about, and we're really excited about these announcements. The first is that we're going to be adding Rogers Communications as a customer of the platform. We're going to be working with them on a new broadband video initiative that they're undertaking today. For the platform, this means that we're working with 5 of the 7 largest cable organizations in North America today. So in addition to Rogers, we work with Comcast, Time Warner, Cox, and Cablevision. Second piece of news that we have is that we announced that we have 20 new programming networks that are utilizing the platform. So these are 20 new customers we've added in just the last 2 months. When you think about the cable programming universe, there's only a couple hundred, so 20 is a pretty significant number in terms of the overall market. These are companies like E, G4, and Style, as well as a number of sports networks. The first group is the Fox Sports Networks. This is a great example of how broadband video actually can, and the potential of broadband video. These companies have lots of content around high school football games and the swim meet and the college basketball games that they can't fit into their linear TV channel today. So they're putting all this content online, and they're starting to generate revenue from it in terms of advertising revenue, subscription revenue, pay-per-view. So it's a great application there. In addition to Fox Sportsnet, we've also added a number of Comcast Sportsnet properties as well. So in total, 20 new programming networks. The third piece of news that we have is that the platform is rolling out a new suite of technologies for TV everywhere. A lot of the discussion to date has been about the pay TV service providers and enhancing their video portals. In this particular case, we're changing the conversation. We're talking about what it takes to actually enable TV everywhere content on the programmers' websites. So in this case, we have some new technology to help cable programmers that want to enable this premium or entitled content on their website to authenticate users, authorize playback, and change the content discovery process to personalize it for every single user of that website. So a particular user only sees the videos that are available to them. So between these 3 new technologies, really enables these companies to step out and really get involved with TV everywhere on their own websites. A couple different things that are complicated about TV everywhere. If I'm a programmer website, the first challenge I run into is how do I authenticate an audience member of my website as a valid customer with against a pay TV service provider. The challenge really is that every pay TV service provider has a different billing system and a different authentication standard that they're employing to validate that you're a valid customer. So when they check that off, if they were just talking with one pay TV provider, a Verizon, a DirecTV, a Time Warner Cable, it'd be pretty easy. But instead, you've got 3 or 6 or 10 different authentication schemes that you now have to build for. So the first thing that these programmers are asking us for is the ability to set up authentication and work with all the different back-end systems on their behalf. And so that's our first product, is an authentication adapter, where they deploy one set of code, and that code says, enter in your username and your password, and then we will actually do the work to translate that into whatever standard Verizon employs, or whatever standard Comcast employs, or Cox employs. And so it's a nice way of kind of a one-to-many relationship for programmers to all the different pay TV providers that they're working with. We're seeing a couple different trends happen in the marketplace. Obviously, one is there's a lot of focus on better monetization of broadband video. So if you're running an advertising business today, it's how do we optimize that advertising business? What kind of ads should we be running? Can we increase the number of ads that we're running and not see a drop-off in our viewership? So there's a lot of tinkering going on around advertising today. And that's a big trend that we're spending a lot of time on. The second is supporting a lot of other monetization methods. So whether it's subscriptions, pay-per-view, downloads, whatever the case is, it seems like many companies are jumping out into a hybrid model where, yes, they're going to have ads, but they also want to charge for some of their content. And that seems to be a magical recipe for getting to profitability on these broadband video businesses today. So a lot of focus on monetization. The second big trend is once we have this content and it's monetizing well, how do we actually grow the audience? So in this particular case, what we're finding is there's lots and lots of new technologies coming on the marketplace, whether it's recommendation engines, community features like ratings, comments, tags, lots and lots of different ways of presenting content on websites, top 10 lists, most watched lists, all kinds of most commented on. These types of social interactions are actually starting to drive more video views. So what happens is on your given website, you get a number of audience members that participate with the content. They add comments, they add ratings, and that's great. And they actually tend to watch a lot more videos than your average viewer. The second thing that happens, though, is that next audience member that comes onto your website, they actually have a new navigational scheme to find content. So they might not have clicked to watch that video because of the title, but if everybody rated it 5 stars, I want to see what the hype's about. If I read a comment that was kind of glowing, I want to see what the video is really about. And so that's starting to create more traffic on our customer sites is when they engage, start building a community on that site. In addition to that, what's also really important is taking that experience and moving it out to other communities that exist in the marketplace today. So whether that's tweeting about a particular video or posting that video to Facebook, these are all really important technologies and techniques that our customers have to use today to actually grow their audience. Yeah, social marketing is a big part of the advice that we're giving to our clients. It's also a big part of the technology efforts that we have underway. Integrations with these different technology platforms isn't exactly easy. So it takes some investment there to make sure that your player seamlessly embeds into a Facebook page, things like that. Additionally, we're now in the proving stage. Now that the technology's there, we're actually getting into deployments with our customers, seeing how much traffic it's driving. Can we optimize that social media experience around their video? What else can we add? Should we run different ads against that content if it's on a Facebook page than when it's on their own page? So we're definitely into a lot of experimentation around social networking, social media, social marketing, and starting to prove it out that it's what everybody believes it can be as a great promotional vehicle for our content today.